Alright, today I finished the Marvel Zombies show. It's basically, in a nutshell, it's what if zombies, but they're the Avengers and all that, and ooh, they're all getting eaten and stuff like that. It's really not the best show I've ever watched. In fact, it's not even one of the best zombie shows I've ever watched. It's really bland compared to how it started in What If. Basically, this entire idea started when What If, which is another Marvel show about like what the other possibilities could be, like what if Ultron won in the other movie, and so on and so forth. They had one called What If Marvel Zombies, which takes place at the same time as Infinity War, where Hulk comes down from space. He's like, Thanos is coming, but everyone's zombies. It's a really cool idea, and we were left with a cliffhanger at the end of the What If episode. I'm gonna quickly give a spoiler warning by here because I am gonna be talking about the ending to What If and the Marvel Zombies. So we have our heroes, which is Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Ant-Man, all going to Wakanda to fight. Well, no, not fight Thanos. Try and save all the infected. And personally, I thought that was an absolute great way to end the show with a small cliffhanger like that. You obviously keep the audience guessing, and you don't have to make the wrong ending and everyone's angry. It's perfect. But like Marvel usually do, they couldn't keep their hand out of the cookie jar. And they saw that people liked this and they went, yeah, we're going to have to throw something together quick. And then we got Marvel Zombies. Hooey. There was a lot wrong with this and a little bit right. So let's start off with what I think is good about it. So obviously, to start off, it's not we don't really see the cast before like episode 6, like the original cast from What If. We are thrown into new cast, and these new casts are quite bland as you'd expect. They really do expect you to just know these people from the other Marvel shows and movies. But the thing is, I haven't watched most of them, so I was sat there not knowing. I didn't have a clue who, like, Captain Russia is or the woman that we start off with. I didn't know any of them. I literally didn't. So I sat there and I watched them, don't explain who they are and die off easily, all of them. It's yeah, that's kind of like what happens. They're all like go in, they're dying, and oh, this last person, the first woman we started with in this series, she's the hope, and they all go like fight Wanda, who's like the big bad, and Wanda destroys them all. Oh no, bad ending. It's a lot, but looking at the positives, um, some things were really cool. Like Black Panther was treated right, as you know, um, his voice actor was died of cancer quite a while ago, and I think this series really gives it a lot of justice. I'm sorry about the lighting. It kind of looks like I'm a heaven departing from the pearly gates right now, but you're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, it really was a nice thing to show him fighting Thanos, and he ends up giving his life to beat Thanos, and it's great. It was a really cool idea to give him that final send off in the Marvel universe. Not only that, but some characters genuinely I did like seeing our old characters, and which are only Spider Man and Ant Man. That's all we've got left now, and obviously Black Panther, but he went. They're obviously really cool. And some cliffhangers I really thought were good. They didn't leave them as cliffhangers. Like you got to see in the What If show, you start with Hulk, but Hulk stays back to fight off all the zombies because Hulk protects him when the zombies try and bite him, which is a cool concept. And when Thanos dies, and he gets thrown into the reactor with Black Panther, all this Infinity Stone energy is out in the open, and as you know from Avengers Endgame, Hulk is also gamma radiation, so he takes like all the power and puts it into himself. So like he is now controlling all the power of it, and it was a good callback, and it did align both those branches. I thought that was really good to like include and see what he was doing and like get this final showdown, which is quite cool. Not only that, you got like some like changes to the characters which I thought were cool. Like they obviously couldn't leave like Iron Man behind, so they had like Iron Man's suit for a bit in the first episode, but it did leave. But it's kind of cool how they're like adapting to living out in this like apocalyptic land, especially because it's Marvel and this is something they should really focus on, with like cool places like Wakanda and my Siri just went off, but yeah, like Wakanda and New York, like that. I think that's what they did really well in the first What If episode, the What If Marvel Zombies. Like the Spider-Man had like his webs like covering the town, so they lived above the zombies. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. Now onto the negatives. The villain makes no sense. Okay, the villain of the show is Wanda Maximoff. You know, she's been a big bad in the series for a while, and honestly, it doesn't make sense. This is where you can see they kind of just pumped out the show. They didn't really have a story to go off of, and so basically, she's like controlling all the zombies and like getting them to go grab this woman that we see at the start, because it's a master plan. Like this is what she wants to do, and we don't know a master plan. We never figure it out, but she just wants to save everyone, as she says, and it's like, oh no. The only thing is, we see it in the first What If Marvel Zombies. She genuinely does not know or do any of that. Another thing I absolutely hated about the new series is like it's a zombie show, so they are literally dying like that. There's so many characters who just give away their lives for no reason. Like there's Captain Russia, I think his name is. His daughter is like on the submarine, and they're running around, and they get to like one of the escape pods because it's all crashing down, and they all go in there, and then she just sits outside, slams the door, like sends them away. She's like, I'll hold them off. And then they all break in. She does nothing. She sits on the chair like this and just gets mauled to death. And Captain Russia's like, no! Like, why? She didn't even hold them off for any second. And this happens so many times. At one point, I was like, Jesus Christ, please. Like, they're generally doing it for no reason. Like, I can name 3 right now. They're on the submarine. There's a girl right at the start that's on an iPad who can control the zombies' mind with this iPad. Clicks it. They all activate, and like she now has control of all the zombies apart from Wanda. Wanda's like, you control them too, and she's like, yeah. And then they just have an intense staring competition because she just doesn't want to use these zombies to like attack Wanda. She just want to flex them, like, and then Wanda's like breaks the iPad, and then she's like, and then she's killed. Why are you doing that? And then finally you've got Thor, who survives Thanos, which was a really weird fight. Like there's one, like the scene that's mad to me is like in Avengers Infinity War, Thor throws his Stormbreaker axe at Thanos. Thanos shoots it with all 6 Infinity Stones, and it goes through and it stabs Thanos. In this one, he throws it and fucking Thanos blows it to high heaven. Wow. He just slams it like that, consumed, hits Thor. Thor belly flops over, like curls up, like almost breaks his spine, it looks like. And yeah, he survives all that. And he ends up just chilling in this new Asgard, which is like this hidden place. And he then like all the zombies start coming in, and all of our like main characters like run the ship. And then Thor comes down, starts shooting the zombies, and he's like, go guys, go, knowing damn well he could have just gone with them. Why Okay, that's weird. Yeah, but he could have just gone with them. Why didn't he go with the? It just doesn't make sense. What is going on? Why are you all just throwing your lives away? It makes absolutely no sense. And there's so many weird parts. Like, I wasn't too fond of the ending. The ending felt really rushed. Like, there wasn't. They're all winning at one point, and then they're pushing back all of Wanda's defenses, and then Wanda's like, huh, and then like teleports and just wins instantly. Why didn't you do that earlier? Did you want to like fight them? Well, no, she doesn't. She puts like she's like, oh, grab my hand and you can save your friends too, and then the woman's like, I'll do that. I'll do that. And then she grabs her hand, and then everything looks like it's gone back to normal, but she's still a zombie. So what? Why are you leaving these cliffhangers? It just feels like you are cliffhanging the cliffhanger now. It's they're just trying to like squeeze juice out of this show, and it's not working. It doesn't feel like I want to know more. I'm like, wow, thank the Lord this is over. It's just really annoying to sit through, and yeah, that's what I did. I sat through it. If I was to tell you whether you should watch this show or not, you shouldn't. I really did not like it. Although I did like some small aspects, but generally overall I wouldn't watch it if I were you. And yeah, I guess I'll just see you guys next time.